flowering leaves of all these life-giving trees that flow in the breeze, giving us the air to breathe, came from the seeds that sons and daughters had sown, passing down histories through stories, genes, and bones. Hear the whispers of the past, dictate your prologue, a generational griot through which memories are prolonged. So we reach down like nourishing waters to seek truths, except we receive nourishment when we're digging the roots.
All right. And welcome to the latest episode of BlackProGen Live. We have some new faces and some new locations here for for our viewers. We actually have 15 people that have joined us so far. And please forgive us for our tardiness this evening because, I mean, you know, we are broadcasting live from a new location that we are typically not in. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight for our latest episode here live in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. Our the room that we're in, well, you'll be seeing us shortly, but hold tight. We've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the genealogy world when it comes to just genealogy and RootsTech. And I just want to remind everybody this evening, this is part of our 2017 Black History Month series here at BlackProGen Live. This is the second episode of 4 that's taking place every week this month. If you missed our discussion last week, boy, you missed a doozy. We had a ball talking about the slave narratives last week. The discussion, it went completely down. It was awesome. The chat room was on fire. The panel was on fire. It was just beautiful. So if you missed that episode, be sure to go back. Every episode we have is recorded and is posted to YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. And it's just absolutely amazing. And tonight, our topic of discussion is going to be BlackProGen at RootsTech. Quite a few of us are at RootsTech, even though we look like we're in different locations. I'm telling you right now that Angela and Tony are in the same room. They're not in different places. They're actually sitting in the same room right now. So that's our topic of discussion is RootsTech. And if you want to get involved in the conversation, feel free to join us. Tweet us at BlackProGen while the show is taking place, or, you know, whenever you feel like it. If you want to comment on some of the things that we're talking about, please sure to hashtag your comments with BlackProGen or BlackProGen Live. And before we get into our favorite part, which is the top 10, let's hear from our esteemed panelists. So I'm going to stop sharing. Of course, I don't know what my background is going to look like because of the people behind me. So please excuse me.
I'm trying to get in.
Because I can't tell you where my head is going to be. Where my people are.
Look at this.
We're all congregated. Shelly and Bernice are like about to eat. She like brought this meal in. I have no food. I'm starving, so I'm going to be chewing on what Tony gave me, which are bark thins that are somewhere around here, and I'm just, that's okay.
I have some spinach.
Sorry, Shelly brought some spinach for me. So anywho, let's get to introducing everybody, and I'll back up so we can actually kind of see everybody. So anywho, okay, let's start with our Y chromosome, which would be James Morgan.
Oh man. Well, my name is James. I'm not at RootsTech. I'm at my house. James Morgan. I'm here in sunny, really supposed to be snowy PG County, Maryland, and it's always a pleasure to be here with everybody. And I'm gonna admit, I started to say, you know what, I'm not gonna go on tonight. I wanted to just fall back and just take the night off and let you guys enjoy yourselves. And then long story short, I ended up realizing that today was the anniversary, 98th anniversary of one of my ancestors, one of my favorite ancestors, Joseph McBride. And I said, no, let me go on BlackProGen Live. Let me make sure I'm on here tonight. I started to take the night off, and I said, no, I like what we do, so let me at least come on and be a part of it. So
that's a great way to honor him, right?
Thank you.
Doing what you do and being here with us. We thank you for giving your evening up to us.
No problem. It's a labor of love.
It is a labor of love. We have a new face tonight. One of our most awesome supporters who pretty much we could bronze our shoelace, and she would go on Twitter and be like, BlackProGen has bronze shoelaces. You need them. And here Genealogy Jen has joined us tonight. She's our guest. She is here with us. She's in Salt Lake City, but she's not with us in the same look. She's in the same city, just not in the same location. So
Right.
Where are you? Where is she?
My friend lives above the mall, and so I have this gorgeous view where I get to look down in the court and everything like that, and I get to stay with a friend here, just right around the corner from where you all are at. So it's beautiful. I feel this is definitely a vacation. So I'm Genealogy Jen, and I have a blog. It's Repurposed Genealogy. I love learning about African American ancestry and history and following all of these wonderful people, and I'm so excited that I got to meet them live and in person at RootsTech, and that I get to be with you guys here tonight. So thank you for having me.
That's great. That is great. Our room is smelling like odors that I'm not getting to partake in. I just want everybody to know. Shelly is back here jamming, just so you know. She's jamming. She's logging in. So there will be 2 computers in our room that are doing all this stuff. All right, next up is Lady in Red, usually Lady Always in Red. That would be Lady in Red with Glasses, who had 2 awesome presentations today here at RootsTech. That would be Angela Walton-Rashi.
Hello, everyone. This is Angela Walton-Rashi from Baltimore County, coming to you from Salt Lake City. And it has been just a thrill. It's been wonderful so far. And I met Genealogy Jen in person today. I am so excited. And oh, wow, it's been busy. I'm exhausted. My presentations are over though, and my voice is still with me because it was about to leave for a little while there. And wow, just glad to be here again. Hi, Jen.
All right, and we'll have her roommate, the lovely Tony Carrier.
Hello, dear friends. I'm in the same room with Angela, so sorry if you're getting an echo. I'm from Low Country Africana. Our website is www.lowcountryafricana.com. We do African American genealogy in South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, and we are a nonprofit organization. Our website is 100% free and always will be, and we invite you to join us.
All right, and that is pretty much everyone for the evening. I'm Nika Smith. I'm here, resident host, troublemaker. Oh, I'm sorry. The people who brought themselves food and not me food want to be introduced. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me get out the way. Bernice Bennett is here.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be at RootsTech 2017. Had a wonderful discussion today in my session. Interviewed several outstanding people, met Genealogy Jen, celebrated her birthday, and so this is going to be a fun night tonight for all of us.
Absolutely. And then she's back there watching.
I'm not in yet. I'm trying to log in. Good evening, everyone from Salt Lake City. Hi, this is Shelly, FamilyTreeGirl.com. We're having a great time. Tune in for tomorrow on any of the live streaming that's going on.
Absolutely, she's right. There's going to be plenty of sessions that are going to be live streamed tomorrow for RootsTech. There's been a live streaming session the entire time. Today we heard from the Property Brothers. They came and did a big spiel, and it was like literally 5 screens in this gigantic room in the convention center where they were like speaking. And I actually did Facebook Live just so I could show people like how big this space was and how, everything that was going on there. So it's pretty cool. Absolutely pretty cool. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and give some love to our chat room people. Chat room is cracking off here. True's got it. She's holding it down for us. There's some folks in here. We see Kristen Klieg. We see Kim Allen, Celia Lewis, our favorite person. I believe she's in Canada. Sandra Henderson is here. Melissa Barker, she joins us every week. That's one of our favorite archivists. Bernita Allen. We got lots of people in the chat room tonight. Oh, look, Shelly Murphy has joined us. So she's now in as a panelist.
I'm right behind you. I'm sorry.
Now there's going to be an echo. So you
I won't say anything.
She's watching you, but there's going to be an echo. So I was going to say, mute yourself, Shelly. There you go. So that way you can watch. All right. So today we're going to talk about our top 10 things, and the panelists don't have any clue what the top 10 is, but today's top 10 is going to be The top 10 things that you saw at RootsTech. So you have to sort of be here in order for you to kind of get, or if you watch me Facebook Live today, you saw some of the things that are at RootsTech. So let's talk about 10 things that were at RootsTech today. Just anything. 10 things that we saw today. Don't all rush in.
I saw a few more African-American people than what I saw last year.
Okay. Okay. She saw a little bit more melanin in the house.
Although I'm not there, I saw LeVar Burton was there.
He'll be there tomorrow morning.
He'll be there tomorrow. So he's not actually here yet.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay, I didn't see him. So I'm sorry.
Yes,
you know,
he is.
if nigga don't see him, they ain't there. Okay.
These are facts. These are facts.
Okay. Okay. All right. What else? Tony, Angela, True, you were following my Facebook Live through the expo floor and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I saw a few new things. I can't remember offhand. Oh my, what was that? I can't remember right now, but there were a few new things I saw.
One of the things that you mentioned was I actually got in to the story recording booth that they have for Family Search. And you noticed that they asked different questions this time.
We didn't have that, yeah.
Yeah, you just had to talk last time, but this time they actually had prompts. It was a booth you get in and you sit and talk and they prompt you, ask you questions. What's your name? How old are you? You know, what if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? Blah, 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 like all that kind of stuff. So that was something that was new. Tony, Angela?
They also had it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
I saw $49 DNA kits.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Come through. Come through.
Yeah, and $59 DNA kits. And so it's DNA wars out there right now with the best prices, and you're not having to pay for shipping either. And they had a limit of 5, and people were like loading up the kits.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm trying to figure out in the budget how many I can fit into my suitcase to bring home with me, right? So that I can test everyone else that has a test.
Shelly said mail them.
The second floor has the FedEx and the business, the post office.
Oh, game recognized
Taking care of it.
games. Look at her trying to get you to blow your budget on DNA kit.
My birthday money, right?
Pretty much.
Spend it on DNA.
Pretty much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anything else anybody saw Reese, she's here. So she Reese Luck is here. She's in the chat room. She says that the National Museum of African American History and Culture has a story booth just like the one that they had at Family Search, or from Family Search at RootsTech today. There's a whole bunch of people in our chat room tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. So let's talk RootsTech. You know, one of the reasons why I'm absolutely nuts and decide to do these at conferences is because so many people who watch this show or are online or have learned to do their family history through the online environment don't know how important going to conferences and meetings like this are. They think in some ways, that they're an island into themselves and that, yeah, it's great. I'm learning a lot. I'm doing a lot, but they don't understand the impact of coming together in a community to learn about genealogy and to meet other people who have similar interests. And so for the folks that are here or who have gone to a conference, can you at least talk about the benefit of being at one? What you noticed after going to like your first ever event. Maybe this would be your first event that you've gone to, maybe RootsTech was it, or maybe it was a smaller event. Like, what's the benefit of coming to these gatherings?
I would say, I haven't been to RootsTech before, but I was just hanging out with Miss Bernice and Miss Angela the other day down here at the DC Family History Center. And I think one of the main things I always take from it is you always not only get to learn things, but you actually get to make friends. And everybody whose family isn't necessarily blood, you know what I mean? But you get to have experiences with people who have a similar interest as you, and oftentimes who maybe have gone through some of the same kind of issues that you've gone through. Like, for instance, what I think was the last episode before last, when we talked about telling the story without boring your family, stuff like that only a family historian would actually even care about. You don't feel so alone. Like you said, you're not an island unto yourself. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the thing I always take from it, is just finding people of like minds and who are interested, like, who want to know, well, did my grandfather walk around that corner? Well, there's somebody else who has that same question about their grandfather,
Okay, anything else? What other things can you think of that would lend themselves to attending a conference? Like why leave the confines of your computer?
I like it because you have access to the decision makers. Today I've met CEOs from my heritage, and you have interaction with the people that you can actually make a difference and influence the industry. You can tell them, hey, I want to see more of this type of record, or I want to see your company do more of this, or this is what I really want as a consumer. You have that access to the people who are the decision makers. And I think that's valuable, as well as being able to interact with other people and ask them questions in person that, having casual conversations with people that you don't know, and then you can find information about how to further your research personally.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And it's fun too. It's so much fun.
There's also other perks. True. What would you say? What would you add?
Yes, the networking, getting, to know people. I know me and Jen, my RootsTech first time BFF last year, me and Jen didn't even know each other, but as soon as we got to RootsTech, we were like in a group for a couple months privately, but we didn't know each other personally. And then once we got there, we forged this lifetime relationship now, and I still see vendors that I still keep in touch with, and they ask for my input on things. I know Pass It Down, they're there again, and I met them last year. And all the information I was able to take back home and actually do something with it, with the tracks that I took. So, yeah, that's some of the things that I took away from going last year. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Shelly and them are regulars, so they have a longer plan than I do. Experience.
Well, I mean, I think before I chime in, does Angela or Tony want to weigh in?
Yeah, I would agree with what both Jen and True said. I think Jen's comment about being able to meet decision makers, I also like the fact that at an event such as this, which is very large, you have a chance to find out pretty much what's new in the field, what's new in the profession, what's new in the discipline, what new products exist, what new technologies are about to emerge. One segment of RootsTech is the Innovators Summit. And to see the ideas that people are coming up with, to see the new apps that are being developed, just so much, and to really see up close what is new in the field. I just find that to be such an incredible aspect of an event this large.
I love catching up with all my Gen friends and finding out what they're doing now. What are you working on right now? I mean, we chat like that on Facebook, but just to sit down with everybody, the learning that you get from, for instance, just having dinner with colleagues is incredible. The learning doesn't stop when you come out of the sessions. You can find out research approaches that other people take to brick walls. You can find out some new and exciting thing that your Gen friend is working on. So I just love that whole camaraderie and sort of the group problem solving that goes on informally after the sessions.
Oh, can I say something, by the way, Nika, about networking? The other day when I was at the DC Family History Center, Lisa Beal, who was one of our Ask Mariah features a few episodes ago, she walked up on me and was like, James, I need to talk to you. And I was really I was like, wait, who are you? And she was like, I'm Lisa Beal. I'm like, oh, you just emailed me. Oh, okay. So I really wanted to say that I appreciated the people who watch this show, because a lot of folks were coming up to me like, oh, I watch you guys all the time. You guys are great and whatnot. She got on me a little bit about her request, but it was a great experience.
I think I would echo everyone. I would echo everyone else's sentiments about the camaraderie, being able to talk to the decision makers one-on-one. I also like the fact that it's just you're coming together with people who are interested in the same thing that you are. You know what I mean? So it's like if you start talking about a certain record set, the person's not going to zone out and be like, oh my gosh, I'd much rather be at like a car conference or something else, right? Everybody's here for the same reason. And I think that is for me, that's the biggest thing. And what would you say for those of you who have come to RootsTech, what differentiates RootsTech from any of the other conferences that you've been to?
This is the biggest one. Like, if you're going to go to one, come here, because all of the major players and the smaller people and everything, if you're going to go to one conference, this is the largest one that you can attend in the United States anyway. And people come from overseas as well. And plus, the other cool thing about a conference is the swag. Like, you get the free stuff. Like, they had spatulas because there's like a cooking theme. You get the bag. They have all the goodies and freebies that they're passing out. A free huge fan chart that they're printing out. It's just really fun. So
I agree with that. I would say the size, number one, but there are different layers of experiences to have. You've got the summit going on. You've got things that are going on in 2 huge exhibit halls. Even within the exhibit halls, you can stop and experience something at so many booths. And you can have little mini classes going on in the exhibit halls, as well as the regular classes that are part of the conference. Absolutely amazing. And right in the middle of one of the exhibit halls, you've got the amazing media hub and all kinds of exhibits. Interviews are going on. You can watch them as they're happening. And it's just a remarkable experience. And being the largest, but it's not just all lectures and an exhibit hall. There are so many things happening within all of those different components that make the RootsTech experience. It's truly amazing.
I love the sheer volume of courses to choose from. I don't care what it is you came here to learn, you're going to find 2 or 3 sessions that hit your research interest. I absolutely love that there are more than 200 breakout sessions at this conference.
I would add, I will comment for Shelly so she doesn't have enough reverb in here for 70s disco track. You can see her over my shoulder cracking up. She says networking, getting the opportunity to meet other people who are interested in the same thing that you're interested in. The vendors, she says the toys that we get to play with, like a family search selfie stick. It's like right here on the desk. Or I don't know. We have so many little things that we get. Of course we have to go through all the swag, right? Because that's like one of the things that we like to do during our, she's got kettle corn in the bag. There was cotton candy. I really wanted some. They had funnel cakes. It was just like, it was gluttony central, which was like, there was nothing bad with that, but it was just library. Like, yeah, oh my gosh. Amounts of people, she says, so many selections to choose from in terms of things, but also with RootsTech, you got the Family Search Library here, which means that, like, okay, let's say there's maybe a 4-hour block where there's a class that you may not have been interested in. You can head over to the library for that time and get lost in there and, amongst all the microfilm and all that other kind of stuff. For me, what I like about RootsTech is it's fresh. I feel like when you go to a lot of genealogy conferences, they feel like we're researching dead people. Does that make sense? Like, everything is like muted tones, gray, macabre, you know what I mean? Like almost Edgar Allan Poe-esque. But when you come here, it's bright. The colors are bright. The lighting is vibrant. There's a tech focus, so it's a little bit more cutting edge or a little bit younger in its feel, you know what I mean, in its branding. So to me, that's actually what, a lot of conferences don't take the time to think about color usage and lighting and the fact that there are plants. Like, I've been to a lot of conferences, whether it's genealogy related, photography related, like the amount of money and time and care that's put into the staging for this, I don't think people like really like realize or conceptualize like how much is done. I mean, when you walk through these areas, like all these big gigantic images, the fact that it's taken up all of downtown Salt Lake, all the light posts have images for RootsTech. I mean, there's a lot of orchestration that goes into this for it to feel innovative and to feel fresh and to feel new. And so that's, to me, I've gone to so many different conferences and stuff like that. That is, to me, what kind of sets this apart, is that it feels fresh and it feels like it's for everybody, not just for people who are studying dead people, if that makes sense. So anything else anybody wants to add before I go to the chat room? Because I'm sure they're probably chatting away over there.
I sat in a couple of sessions today and I thought were awesome. Linda and Tony, and also Janice Minor Forte session.
Okay. So Shelly said that she sat in a couple sessions today. Janice Minor Forte session on the census was good.
Full ballroom.
Yeah, full ballroom, which was great. And then you mentioned, who else's session?
Angela and Tony.
Angela and Tony's on Mapping the Freedmen's Bureau, which I got a couple snaps in there. Unfortunately, today, a lot of us were booked back like at the same time. So if you noticed, if you were following any of us on social media, like we were trying to make sure that we like covered everybody's spot because, you know, there were head-to-head sessions. It was like 2 presentations going at 1:30 and then 2 presentations going at 3. So we were trying to make sure that everybody, you know, was covered. So let's see what's going on in the chat room. Chat room, gosh, I had to scroll down a lot to get there. People are talking about cashews. Oh, yeah. Oh, let me tell y'all. Oh, my God. Okay. Yes. Okay. Karen Royal, girl. Yes, she is so right. So, okay, let me tell you. Because I'm really tactile. Like you know, like if I go to like shop for clothes, like I'm touching the fabric, you know, like that's just me. Like I like scent, smells, all that. You walk into the expo hall, and whoever these people are that have these cashews, these almonds, and these pecans, it smells like a churro. When you come through the door, it's like churro city. Like you walk through, it's just churro, like just everywhere. And it's like they have crack sprinkled in these cashews, these almonds, and these pecans, and then they come in a bag. Am I telling any lies, you guys? Am I telling?
No, because it's addicting. You're just sitting there munching.
Like, you know, it's almost like when on The Wiz, if you ever seen The Wiz, like remember when they finally almost get to like Oz and they come through that area and the mist comes up and they like pass out like this. It's almost like that, but I don't want to call it like genealogy funk because funk makes it sound smelly. Like it's like the essence of like,
it's cinnamon.
It's just cinnamon and sugar, but it's so sweet. You know, it's like when you've been searching for something for like 10 years and then all of a sudden a new record cassette comes out and then boom, you put in a search and it's like right there. That's what it smells like. Walking.
If genealogy had a smell, it would be cinnamon almonds, right?
Yes.
We're going to associate that now with RootsTech every time.
I'm telling you,
the theme is cooking.
Yeah, because they're cooking.
Yeah, the theme is cooking
stuff right there.
And
I had the man dying laughing. I said, "This is a travesty." Got this place smelling all good like this. I said, "I know you got crack in those nuts."
He was grinning too. He was like, "I did my job." The grin on his face, though.
I did good. I didn't get any. But those nuts, I'm telling you guys, like Khalifa says she broke down and got that. I'm telling you, whoever it is, they have a smell scientist, or I don't know, it's probably the wrong syntax or whatever. But they have somebody who is an expert in smells on those cashews. Yvette Portermore is in the chat room saying she's getting some tomorrow, so she's gonna pass out just like the Wiz.
I want to go back to I want to go back to the fact that Jen just said that if genealogy had a smell. Like people don't listen. People don't realize like how much. I don't know anybody else. I'm so happy she's on here because I always get a kick out of her comments in the chat room, and just to hear you say that, like I don't know if people really understand the depth of what that meant. What you just said.
Oh, thank you. So.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, whoever the smell scientist is for that company, they got it together because it smells like the essence of genealogy walking through that door. And watch, James, when you go and you smell it, then you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. And every time you see the Wiz, you see them passing out. You're gonna think of cashews.
Well, I just feel like Bernice doesn't live that far from me, nor does Angela, and I feel like I see these people regularly. I feel like somebody can bring something back for a brother. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so give him credit for being the only man involved in the panel, and then now he's begging he wants a gift. Okay, maybe I can run swag.
You know the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You know the old saying.
Okay, what do you want?
Look, I would love to try some of these. I actually do love cashews, so I would love to try some. I'll pay, look. I'll pay for that and one of them $50 DNA tests. But I'll pay for those. Whatever it costs, I will pay for it.
Okay, so he's saying he wants the crack cashews in a DNA kit. Okay. So you need to hook up with her on PayPal and make sure you do family and friends so there are no fees.
There you go.
So you can run her money and she
there
can
you go.
go and get your crack cashews and your
there you go. We don't want
she can even like flat rate ship it to you for $5.95 from the post office,
there,
right? So you can have it
there you go.
2 days from now, right?
There you go. I don't want nobody running up on me.
It's not shipping it.
Yeah, so we have some people who are actually here at RootsTech who are kind of chiming in. One of the things that has been brought to my attention by several people is, well, first of all, let me kind of back up and preface this with this year is the first year of RootsTech that they're going to be having an Africa Day or African Ancestor Day. And tomorrow there's going to be a keynote speaker is going to be LeVar Burton, who played, Kunta Kinte in the movie Roots. And then there's also going to be a panel later with him and Kenyatta Berry from Genealogy Roadshow, Sherry Camp, who's the president of the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society, or OGS, the national president, and then also Melvin Collier, who's a colleague of ours, blogger, author, all that. And then there are going to be classes tomorrow as well. And so I say all that to say several people, including people in the chat room and in person to me today, have mentioned the fact that, yes, we're having this big Africa Day, but the classes are literally back in like the back 40. So basically you have to understand, it's like this conference, this convention center is huge, and there are a number of different meeting rooms there, and the African American sessions literally are in the very back of the conference room. And sometimes like the signage isn't good, so you don't really know where to go. And so several people have missed out on some of our sessions because they're so far back into the back of the location. And so that's been a concern. I definitely think we'll share that feedback with the planners. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I chime in on that. So just the folks knew we recognized that was an issue. And it's kind of hard. That's the other thing too, is like when you plan events like this and you have a day, so each day has had a special focus. Like today was the I'm gonna call them the Food Brothers. Lord, the Property Brothers. Today was the Property Brothers. So they had the top billing, and then there was the Cake Boss. That was what, Wednesday? Or no, was that Saturday? Cake Boss is Saturday. So he's got his billing is that day, or is that Cece? I can't remember. But each day's got a theme, so to speak, and it's got classes that like revolve around that. And someone said if they're going to have the day like this, they probably should have put the classes closer to the expo hall and where everybody was congregating, rather than, it literally, how far would you say that room is back there?
About 255.
255. See, here's the thing. We all know. 255. We already know the room is, because we call the color. We don't say we call it color, but we know that's where all the melanin classes are. Is it 255 A and B?
No. A and E.
Oh, as in arts and entertainment. A and E, all the way down, all the way down, and that's pretty much where everyone is relegated.
Was in the ballroom today.
Yeah, there are a few classes that are not there, but for the lion's share of them are, and so in some ways it makes us wonder if the audience or if the people are going to be able to, if they're going to be able to find us, because it is a trek. I'm telling you, I got my 10,000 steps in today. And them poor folks, Lord. 6,200. Oh, Shelly got 6,200 steps in. There are people commenting in the chat room that 255 is the devil.
I'm in there tomorrow.
I'm in there tomorrow too. So what I'm gonna do, if you're here at RootsTech and you're watching this, what Nika Smith is going to do is my session starts at 1:30. I'm doing African American genealogy for newbies. At 1 o'clock or 1:15, I'm going to go in the main hallway and I'm going to start directing people to my class, like we're in the circus. Come on, blah, blah, blah. If I had a megaphone, I'd get the megaphone out.
You need to do like Malcolm,
because people. Go ahead, James.
No, I was saying you need to do like Denzel and Malcolm X. As soon as the people came out to church, he was right there with the final call. Like, I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised. Come right this way. Like, that's what you do.
255. You cannot talk for 2 minutes. You were banned from talking for 2 minutes. He put himself on mute.
Elizabeth Warren.
He put himself on mute. Oh my Lord. No, but seriously, like I'm going to go out in the alcove and I'm going to literally direct people back to that space because it is so far. Like honestly, I almost feel like I need to Facebook Live so people can see how far back this space is. Because it's astronomical. Here, prime example. Let me tell you about this. You have got to come down the escalator to get into the conference. Then you got to go through the exhibit hall. Then you got to go up one escalator. Then you got to go up another escalator. Then you go into the room. So, but hold on, wait a minute. Actually, I forgot that long hallway. There's a long hallway you got to take before you get to those 2 escalators.
No, you go up the hall.
Oh Lord, Cynthia said 8,654 steps.
We got like 50 steps.
I've got 10,000.
Formulated. What'd you say, Jen?
10,816 today.
Yes.
So,
you are.
And that was not running. I did not run today either. That's just walking.
And I'm calling myself going to run in the morning. Lord have mercy, bless me. But this.
So I think you should give people a snack when they come into the room. Like give them some candy at the door and be like, "Hey, you made it to the promised land. Here's a Starburst. Thank you for showing up."
You know what? I might need. You know what? See, thank you, Jen.
I'm not bringing candy. I'll hook you up. I've got like a whole bag of stuff right there.
Marketing is all good. Yes, we're gonna be passing out ribbons.
And they'll be like, "Oh, she's the one with the candy in her class," you know. And I'm going there.
Well, hey, thank you.
But I'm gonna say last year I was in that same room. I was not the only one in that alcove like of rooms that's off the 255 rooms. There were other people in there as well. So it's not just us.
Well, I will tell you that Celia, our buddy from Canada, said that we need to have cracked cashews at the door. You know what? Thank you. I think that is a great idea. Melissa says you need to have some of those cashews with the smell to bring them in the class. You know what? If anybody knows me in my presentations, they know I advocate for food bribery. I am not against food bribery. If you are trying to get a document, an obituary, or somebody to talk, use food. It almost always works. So we got to get our attack. We got to have candy. We got to have our cashews.
With the courthouses.
Yeah.
I take them fresh fruit.
Take them fruit. We have to have our cadre of things together so that we are leading people back to our space. Thank you guys so much. Yes, Celie says sometimes you got to seduce people. I agree. Cynthia Grady says definitely drink a water for the trek there. You should. If you aren't prepared, I'm telling you, that walk, it'll take you out. It will take you out.
Stop a couple times.
Yeah, you might have to stop. I'm serious. If somebody had like a hip issue or a knee problem, they would have to stop.
Of breath.
It's a trek. So let's talk about bling. Now, if you've never been to a genealogy conference, you may not know how maniacal we are about ribbons. Like, this is almost like, I don't even want to know. This is almost like, I don't even know what it's almost like. I'm laughing because I'm looking at the chat room. Someone said you need a drink of water and someone else added and a respirator to get up to 255.
Girl, that room is the business though.
I am going to, you guys think I'm joking. I am going to do a Facebook Live just so you can see how long it takes. And I'm able-bodied, but I'm just going to do it just so people can see the whole track. But anyway, back to our bling.
Yeah.
Back to our bling. So these ribbons, usually you can get like, maybe 1 or 2 of them when you check in, like when you first get your stuff. But this is like almost a game for all of us to see who can get ribbons like almost going down to the floor. So like if you're a speaker, they give you this blue ribbon. And then we have a BlackProGen Live ribbon that we have. We also have a Maggie ribbon. And then you have different ones, like, so different booths and things that you go to, like, see, Low Country Africana. I have a couple of those here. It took me going to the Promised Land to get the media ribbon today. And then I've got a couple legacy family tree webinar ribbons, and everyone's got like different stuff on theirs. Like Thomas McKenty actually like passes out ribbons that like say dork and like other things on them. I'm going to get Bernice's. So, because hers is longer than mine. So she's got other stuff on hers. Like she's Dear Myrtle's friend. Apparently I'm not Pat's friend. No, I ain't.
I'm longer than both of you.
I know. I see a lot of new ones I need to collect. Look at mine.
True's got hers. She still has all her swag.
I even have one from my True Roots right there.
Yeah, Bernice's ribbon, her ribbons are legendary, but I'm a claim, stake the claim right now. I'm gonna beat her. You see, she's got like maybe like 5. I'm good. I'm coming in for the kill, James. I'm gonna get Bernice. Like she's going down.
Can I talk now?
Yeah. Oh, here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Look at Shelly.
I got 2 more I didn't put on.
She's got all of her like long stuff, and people are like, "Why, you guys? This is so dorky." But it's fun because people can kind of see like, where you are. And what we've been doing with our ribbons is we've been using it as an opportunity to get people to watch the show. And so the viewership is up tonight because we actually walked around and talked to people and handed them BlackProGen Live ribbons and said that we're gonna air our show tonight. And tune in. We're going to talk about RootsTech. And so there are people in the chat room who are there, and they got their bling from us, and they're tuning in because we went and talked to them about BlackProGen Live and Maggie. So yes. Oh yes. And so you can also pick up other things from and usually we always go through the conference bag too, just so people know like what you get when you register. So RootsTech actually costs a little bit more than some of the other conferences. It's over $200. Some of the conferences are like maybe like 100, 150. RootsTech is a little bit more. But you do get some more kind of like perks with that. So all the booths, if you actually want to see like what the Expo floor looked like, I have a public Facebook video that I posted where I literally go through like a quarter of the Expo floor so you can see all the vendors and all that stuff that's there. And they have buttons and things that you can get, like this one's from Find My Past. It says, "My journey took me to England."
Keep reading.
And then this one says, "My journey took me around the world."
Keep going.
And then this one says, "My journey took me to prison."
Winner.
You can't find that answer.
You sure can.
The hospital or
You did check the hospital or the prison. And this one says, "My journey took me across the ocean." So these are all from the Find My Past booth. And then our bags for this year, I don't know what I did with mine. Somewhere over here.
Where's mine? Right here.
Okay. So this year's bag looked a little bit different. I'm sporting last year just because I like it because it has a flap. But this year's are sort of pink red color. And it has a little strap. Everybody that registered got these. And then they fill them up with different advertisements for different things. The one thing that I will say that kind of was a little off-putting is, as a person of color, when you look through all these pamphlets, you don't see yourself. You see other people that don't look like you. So maybe that's feedback we can give them, is to have some, well.
We need to make our own.
Yeah, we might need to make
I was gonna say
make our own.
I was gonna say maybe there should be a BlackProGen promotional flyer in 2018. That would be something.
There's giveaways in there too, so go through them closely.
Yeah, so like they've got lots of coupons, show specials, like we were talking about, like the $49 DNA kit. That's one thing. You've got Genealogy Bank, regularly $89.99 for the annual membership, and this ebook that they have that's included. And so that's something that's in here. And usually this stuff is only available during the show. Like here's this 20% off of Animoto, which is Animoto is actually something that's used by a lot of photographers. It animates slideshows and has music that you can use royalty free.
Diane had it this afternoon in her DNA presentation. I really enjoyed that, and she used that app.
Diane South.
Yes.
Yeah. Forgot. I forgot her last name.
She did.
And then there's all kinds of stuff in here, like this shop box thing. That was interesting. I actually stopped by their booth. I was like, what in the world is that? And basically it's like the same sort of like photo setup that they do for products that they put online. Like let's say they're photographing shoes, and all it is just a box that has even light. Oh, Jen has
here, and I'm actually
got one today. Okay.
I sell them, so I can tell you all about them. And when they don't sell them, but it's one of the products that I can get a commission for or whatever if you want to buy one or whatever, I can get you a discount. So let me know.
Okay.
Do you have a spatula? Did you get a spatula?
Oh, I missed
a family spatula.
Spatula. I didn't get a spatula. Hold on, let me get your spatula.
And don't forget to stop at the RootsTech store and get your official RootsTech pen. I got mine for a class of 2016 last year. I know. Yeah, you have to go there and stop and get your little RootsTech pen, an official one.
It's a decent scraper. She's got her scraper. Bernice,
Wow.
she's got other perks because she's special. I'm not special. Not this time. Only a little special.
You know what? You stopped at the Kindex booth, and I thought you picked up. They gave out magnifiers last year.
I did not see anything over there. I will have to look.
Just go
when I
recheck.
go back over there. I was more kind of like trying to figure out what it was because it sounded like Windex to me. So I didn't. No, I'm just saying. Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like a play on words or it was supposed to be like it helps you clear your images or like I didn't know. I was trying to figure out what it was. I didn't quite have it down. Forgive me, people from Kindex. I didn't quite know what that was.
Those names will get you every time.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then the other thing I forgot to mention because the chat room, the people are here. Is Dear Myrtle. She always gives out blogger beads. So does Thomas McKenty. They always have blogger beads that they give out to everybody. I miss getting mine. I know that's the thing. I saw every time I saw Dear Myrtle and Thomas, they didn't have their stuff. So these are the blogger beads.
There you go.
Yay for bloggers.
Oh, they're a fellow blogger. What's the name of blog?
The audience can tell because I know when I was walking around, they're like, "Oh, you must be a blogger. You have the beads on." So they recognize who is who at the conference. They can tell.
Yes.
And by reading your thingy here, your lanyard, those ribbons.
With the ribbon stuff on there too. So
and if you have a tree on family search too, you can get one of these free charts made.
Oh
yes.
Free. They will print out a fan chart and they're beautiful and you can pay to get a color one or you can get a free one.
And I actually had a block made, a stone made with my True Roots last year. And you get to press the button and pick out your design. It's right over there where you were, Jen, where that chart was, the fan charts. I don't know if they're there this year or not, but
the
chart masters people are here. They're here. Remember you're talking about family chart masters or are you talking about the big genealogy wall charts people?
The wall charts people where Jen was, where she got that printed out at. They have a thing over there where you can put your name, whatever design you want, they'll engrave it right there for you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I missed that.
Why? It's not. I don't have it out at the moment, but
yeah, I need to check that out then. There's always so many things.
I'll tweet a photo of it out and let you guys see what it looks like. And And Family Chart Masters, I had an appointment with them last year, and she has mine already done. It's right back there for 2017. It's already ready for the ivories. All 23 kids, the photos, the 3 wives, everything.
What we're talking about is, and this is a good topic to bring up, is the fact that, people have online trees. And what Jen and what True are talking about is the fact that they actually went somewhere and got their tree printed out.
Yes.
It wasn't just left in an online state. You know what I mean? Where you could just kind of view it maybe a few generations at a time. No, they actually went to a vendor that specializes in printing out family trees, which means the paper is wider, it's longer, and there are a couple of different companies that do that, and they also are here as well. So if you're interested in that, we can throw out some links so you guys can see that. But as Jen was saying, she had the ability to go to the family search booth and have her family chart printed out from her tree that was on family search. Some of the other things that are fun that are here, I talked about the interview booth. They also have this ability for you to go and take a photo of yourself in the location that like your family is from. And so like one of the things that you can do is like you can select temples and stuff. If you're Mormon, you can do that. You can select the United States or historical time period, and you can go to different states. And so I chose Louisiana, and it was so funny. So the guy's operating the machine, and it's like, it says places, and I knew the steamboat and that river that it was on. I said, that's the Mississippi, that's the New Orleans. And the man was like, no, how do you know that? And I was like, because I know what it looks like. I've been there a million times. That's the Dixie Queen. That's the Dixie Queen that goes, if you walk down the river, walk in New Orleans, that's the boat that's there. And he was trying to argue me down that it was not right. So I was like, all right, whatever. So we got to Louisiana and we had our scenes, and I knew I was exactly right. I was like, see, I told you, there's my Dixie Queen. And this is the image that I took today. I chose Jackson Square in New Orleans as my backdrop at nighttime. And you can pick any location, and they send this to you for free. There's also a book called a booth called like Product Line or Photo Line or something like that. And they've got a Nikon area, and they've got a Canon area, and they're actually taking 4x6 pictures of people that they're printing on site there as well. That's there, and they were doing some larger prints and stuff over there too. Is there anything else you can think of that was on the expo floor that people were getting for free?
Yes. Every table has stuff for free.
Pretty much. Forgot about my coloring. Oh my gosh, it's like the best ever. This sounds like so crazy, but WordPress has a booth here. Anybody that does WordPress I love WordPress.
Oh, that's my blog is WordPress.
Yeah, my blog is WordPress. It's custom install WordPress blog, and WordPress gave out adult coloring books with colored pencils.
Ooh.
So if you're here and you haven't gone by the WordPress booth, I highly suggest, and here's the best part about the colored pencils, there's a sharpener on the top. So you can resharpen. So I'm all excited about coloring in my book. So that was a freebie. Also, I forgot to mention, we had all the ads in the conference book, but then they had this relative race journal,
which is the show.
Which is a show that's on BYU Network. This was also in our swag bag, so you got this journal in there. The other thing that was in there too, this was my favorite. I actually saved this. This was one of my favorite inserts. Legacy Tree genealogists put in this DNA and relationship quick reference chart inside of every bag. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I was combing through all of my stuff because I wanted to find my favorite thing. And what it does is it has, look at Shelly trying to dig through her bag now trying to find it. Yes, this could be super useful. So what it does is, it's like that tree that's on about.com, that has a relationship stuff, but it has, or like the Blaine Bettinger chart that's on the International Society of Genetic Genealogy site, but it's not on the computer. It's something that you could put right next to your desk. And it has all the relationships and how much DNA you share with those people based on those relationships. So I thought that this was a really cool insert to put inside of the bag. And then we also got this nice handy dandy, nicely printed color RootsTech and Innovator Summit schedule with all your stuff in here, right? So these are at a glance days, you get a glance stuff, and then it's got the daily schedule that's in here that's printed. So then that way, if you want to look the night before, figure out what you're going to take, that's probably what people are doing tonight, is looking at tomorrow's schedule to see what they want to take. The other thing is,
was beat up.
yeah, well, the other thing is too, if you did not get a printed syllabus and all that kind of stuff, they were not trying to see you this year. They had printed pretty much nothing. So unless you have
them on the app, though.
What'd you say, Jim?
You can download the syllabuses or the syllabi from the app this year, which is a new feature on the RootsTech app. So you can actually take notes on the syllabus.
But what if you don't have a smartphone?
Oh, then why are you here? How do you survive without a smartphone now?
Genealogy Jen is heartless and cutthroat. She says, "You don't have a smartphone. Why are you here?" She brings light to my life.
No, it's
every
a technology
episode.
conference, right? No, my grandpa has an iPhone. My grandpa has an iPhone. All right, he's 86. He has an iPhone. All right.
My 92-year-old great grandfather has an iPhone.
Right.
Jen, you are so beautiful and heartless. It's crazy.
I'm not hearing it.
Devil's advocate.
Then they can pay the $100 for the hard copy if they're that they don't want a phone.
I mean, yeah, I understand, but that someone was like, "Well, I don't have a smartphone," so, and I was like, "Okay, well, just tell me which classes you want. I'll download them and email them to you." You know what I mean? But they're really trying to push people being more innovative and rather than being, relying
on paper. Yeah, I've seen a lot of my presenters last year having a sheet out, at the end of each of their seminars just for people to put their email addresses down. I'm like, well, I did most of mine at home, but I can see what you're saying.
Well, I don't know if you all saw, but there is a 23andMe booth here. It's fairly small. It's not as big as, Ancestry DNA. But something that I thought was interesting that they've launched with 23andMe is they've launched a 23andMe educator site. And I would have loved to have seen
Okay.
two things at one time. I'm sorry, y'all. We got a blog talk radio show going, and we got this going at one time. We're multitasking in the same room. So they have a 23andMe educator site, and it's 23andme.com/education. And they give you special discounts on your kits that you order for your classroom. You get priority lab processing, and then there's dedicated customer support for you. I had no clue about this. And you guys know I had a huge genealogy program with youth, and we used to order kits and stuff like that all the time. I'm like, where was this when I was doing that? So there's like a whole thing. They've got free resources, 65 genetic sample reports, lesson plans and activities and projects. They've got images, videos, webinars, links, and they've got children's books, which I actually got another little card for that, where they have books that teach about DNA. Yeah, I know. Look at Jen's face. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'll show this to you tomorrow, or we can go." It's at the bottom of the booth. Like they have
I've
all.
got 4 kids, man. I need to teach them, raise them up for the genealogy now.
Yeah, and so this book is both the books are on Amazon. You can actually get them.
Maybe it'll actually make it easy for me to understand it too if I use the children's book.
You know what? Come on now, Jen. Isn't Jen in here? If you don't get
16 classes on DNA too.
And DNA, order you a board book called the One and Only Me, a book about genes.
A book about Gen?
Genealogy Gen? You share genes with me, and there's a little monkey.
Is it in the bag?
No, this is not in the bag. You got to go by the booth to get it.
You got to go by the booth.
I didn't see them, but I know they're there.
And then
grab me one.
Hey, Nika, I have a question.
That's my favorite company.
You calling me?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Okay. No, I have a question because I heard you talk. I know you're going through the swag and stuff, but I heard you mention the family, the library out there and whatnot. Are there any activities going on there as well, or?
Well, why would you? Because everybody that's in there, it's like Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the casino.
Right? Family Search Library in Salt Lake is like Las Vegas.
I bet.
There are windows, there are clocks. You just don't know where they are.
Ooh-wee.
Because you're in there, head down, in the microfilm, looking at records, all that kind of stuff.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, it's like casino. It's like you hear bingo people be going off every now and then. It's just, I can't even describe it. I felt like that too when I was at the Allen County. But boy, when you at that family history library in Salt Lake City, and then they redid all the floors. They did that one room over. They said when we were there, they was just remodeling it.
You're talking about the main floor, like when you walk in. Yeah. If you've ever been to Salt Lake and you haven't been probably in the last year, that first floor, you're probably gonna feel like you walked into the wrong building almost, because it's like they've so redone it. It's the only thing I can compare it to is just the job I worked. We had this center for health. It was like an interactive building that was connected to the hospital, the clinic, where you can go in and touch screens and do, it's very interactive, walking through, like, that it's almost jarring because it's just so much of a difference compared to what the first floor used to look like. So and then we should talk about Salt Lake, because I actually had to explain today the importance of the library, because I had to tell folks, like, yes, come to classes, but if you have free time, you need to be over at that library, because I don't think people realize the resources and stuff that are at the library. That is like, it's Mecca for genealogy. It is absolutely the Mecca for genealogy. What I mentioned to the folks today was, I said, imagine having every courthouse in the country available to you at your fingertips. Now, some of them aren't in there because they wouldn't allow, the LDS to come in and microfilm, but the vast majority is like 99.9, Every courthouse is right there in that library. Why would you not go there? Because otherwise you'd have to travel to each one of those sites individually to go and get that microfilm. So
and they also have a lot of things that like you can search it all on the wiki to find out what they have there and everything. But I mean, it's just fun to be there.
Yeah, it is. And what I do every time I come here, I've got a list of microfilm. I've already got the number, the location, what it is. I have that pulled, so then that way I can literally walk in and just go straight to the drawer and get to where I need to get to. But I'm pretty like cutthroat when it comes to my library time. I want to have every single second. The other thing that's great is people are thinking, well, microfilm, you're looking at records, like, gosh, that's tedious. But I love the fact that you can scan the microfilm to a flash drive, so you can get your images. You can save a PDF, a JPEG right off of there. You can make copies if you want to. You can do the same things with books too, because that's a whole other floor. Like, we're talking about just the microfilm. Then there's a whole level of books. It's just US and Canada books. Then they've got I think they had was an international, all the international stuff was on the other floor. It's literally like 4 or 5 floors of pure genealogy, like international genealogy.
And I cried when I got there. I got to the front desk and broke down. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is. It is. There are a few people in the chat room saying, Khalifa, yes. Let me tell you, Nika Smith, I don't know about y'all. Nika Smith is going to be at the Family Search Library at 8:30 on Saturday. So if you've never gone and you're like confused and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in here turning around in circles, meet me there. I'll kind of do a fresh review. And if there's people there to give tours, there's people there to help you. You're not going to just be there floundering by yourself and no one cares. Like 9 times out of 10, someone's going to walk up to you and say, hey, how are you? Do you need some help? Because they know you're here for RootsTech and they want to help you.
And
So
this will prep you for Maggie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it absolutely will prep you for Maggie. A person in the chat room said, is the library really busy? It's really busy when there's no sessions happening. So I would suggest if you go during a time where there may be like a class that you are maybe not as interested in, or there may not be anything you want to take, that would be prime time to go over there. Yep. Anything else we want to add in? Oh, we talked about RootsTech for next year. Do we know the exact dates so we can kind of?
They've noticed all throughout the exhibit hall.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see
February 28th through March 2nd or 3rd, I think.
Oh, great. That'll be my birthday.
Oh, fun. You get to have a birthday at RootsTech.
I know. How cool is that to be your birthday this year and mine next year?
The big 4-0.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I still got a couple years on you. I'll be 30. I'll be 39. Lord, I can't believe I said that. Oh, Lord. I'm getting old.
For those of us
so young,
already past that stage of our lives,
Yes.
we just want to say something to these young folks.
We're going to carry you in, baby.
You have so much more to learn, to grow.
Oh, look at how she caresses my shoulder as she says it. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Also, there's something else I forgot that I meant to talk about, too, is that people don't realize, okay, let me bring this down a couple notches.
Okay.
Most websites now have access, or they create something called API, which gives people the ability to utilize their systems in connection with whatever they have. So Facebook has an API, Google has an API, Twitter has an API. And what that does is, allows you to log into other services using your Facebook account or your Google account or any of that kind of stuff. Well, people forget that 23andMe has an API. And you can develop apps based off of 23andMe data. And what's interesting is I actually rode on the airplane with a plastic surgeon yesterday. And he was telling me all about how they're using stem cells for all kinds of stuff. Like, they basically help you repair your body with your own cells. It's absolutely bananas, like some of the stuff that they can do. But I actually mentioned to him that if he was doing research, I'm like, here you have 1 million people in this database right here that you can look at, that you can use for educational stuff, especially if you're going to present something or there's something you're thinking about. So if app developers, if there's some functionality you think it may be missing or that you would like to add to our experience on 23andMe, they give you the ability to do that as a developer. And there's also like a whole separate like email list and everything for that. They told me about that today when I was at their their booth. So just to put that out there, if there's any app developers. Did you see any new apps or anything that you thought, oh, we got to talk about Story Glory? We need to talk about Story Glory. Okay. Gosh, can't you guys tell it's been like it's been a long but like exciting day. So me and Shelly met.
Shelly and I.
I'm sorry. Well, no, it's me and Shelly. Anyway, okay. Like, what's grammatically correct?
It's Shelly and I.
Okay.
Thank you, Angela.
All right, Shelly and
My
I.
pleasure.
Shelly and I
She's
met a couple of folks that are work with an app called Story Glory, and they're based in San Francisco. Really amazing guys. And basically, it's an app where you can, get a picture from your phone, or you can scan a photo with your phone, and you can record audio with the photo. So let's say you're talking to your mom, about an image that you have of you as a child, and you begin, and your mom starts, oh yeah, I remember when I bought you that dress, or I made you that dress. You can literally record that and send it to whoever, and then they can comment back with recordings on your stuff. And then you can download all of it. So like, let's say you have this wedding picture or whatever it is, and you want feedback from different family members, you can actually get it, and it's private. So it's not like you have to log in with another account or anything like that. All you need is the app. And so we actually met with them. It was actually really, 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 really cool. Now, some of the stuff that's on the expo floor does similar things. I almost called it Joy Flip. Is that it?
It is Joy Flip.
Joy Flips. It's another app that does something similar. I actually was talking to the folks that developed that today. They have the functionality built in for Watson, which is the IBM thing. And with theirs, it does the same thing, which is, allows you to scan images and record audio to go along with the images. But it also tags your photo so that it makes them searchable based on what you said when you recorded the audio. Mm-hmm. So that was an additional feature. And then there's also all sorts of other.
Exciting where the technology.
Yeah, there's a ton of technology going on. Oh my gosh. See, hold on. Silly Lewis said it is Shelly and me. I know I'm not crazy. You guys
Shelly and I.
My 7th grade teacher.
Start a sentence. It is Shelly and I did such and such and so and so. But if you're an object of a sentence, then she gave it to Shelly and me. You are the subject of the sentence, so it is Shelly and I.
Maybe people will do this when they're blogging.
English language major.
Who is?
Angela.
Oh,
language.
See, that's something.
I was languages.
She's an English language. She does. Okay, that's random fact of the evening.
Don't be messing with her.
And you also know if you take out the first part, so you could say I went and did whatever. So that's the other way that you can tell the difference between I and me.
And Jen chimed in too. Okay. I stand corrected. Angela does speak 5 languages. I only speak 1 in like maybe
she
a
speaks
quarter.
5 languages too. In addition to everything else she knows about, she's brilliant.
And Angela, can you speak in?
What doesn't she do?
Yes.
She never toots her own horn.
To whatever we're talking about.
I'm having a sinus attack, so I'm hearing parts of these conversations. What was the question?
I would say, can you respond in Spanish before we wrap up? So people.
Bueno, sí, ¿qué quieres que te digo? Bueno, a mí me va igual.
Then tell her to do French.
Okay, can you say
la chose avec moi?
You said it in French.
Oh she said it in French. I don't know the other languages. What are she
What
said
are the African languages? Nigerian?
She can.
Babanio. Je suis ici. Français también. No.
I can.
What to say?
Moving along.
Oh, moving along. Oh my gosh. My roommates are about there. I'm telling you, they're tired. They're ready to go. And I have not eaten yet either. Just to chime in for the chat room, someone asked what was the name of the country. It's Story Glory. So search for that in your app store is the name of the app that I was talking about. And the other is Joy Flips. that does the recording, and then it also does sort of like the tagging based on like what you actually say in your recordings for your videos. So that is pretty much it for the evening. We don't have Ask Mariah or anything because sort of I kind of forgot to do it. Had a lot going on this week.
Come on over here.
But anywho,
You'll hear in a minute.
oh my Lord. Anywho, is there anything else anybody wants to chime in with about RootsTech? We've got sessions tomorrow. I'm at 1:30.
I'm at 3.
Shelly's at 3. We've got Africa Day that starts at 8:30. We got the panel. We've got LeVar Burton. I'm pretty sure we're all going to be there for all that stuff tomorrow. Anything else you can think of?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's
Hopefully
it.
we're sharing enough information so people is enjoying it.
Yeah, I hope we kind of encourage people to kind of venture out and move away from their own computer and kind of get out and meet folks that are interested in genealogy and family history research and all that stuff. And so before we get out of here, of course, we got to do all of our announcements for the show. So coming up next week, we've got the 10% Free People of Color. We're going to be talking about a section of our society when it comes to African-American genealogy that rarely gets discussed. We often talk about slavery that pretty much dominates the conversation, but people don't realize that 10% of the population of people of African descent living in the United States was actually free before the Civil War. So we have a lot to share on this topic. We have a lot of resident experts on this particular subject area. So feel free to tune in next Wednesday. We're going back to Wednesday next week. That's February 15th. Regular time, regular channel. Also, talked about Free People of Color on the 15th. Our final show in the Black History Month series is going to be about DNA. It's case studies in DNA. Shannon Christmas and Melvin Collier are going to be joining us for that show at the end of the month. And then following that, we're going to be going back to just twice a month. So if you love having BlackProGen Live every single week, you better get all you can in February because because we're going back to only twice a month at the in March. As we always mention, join the conversation. Tweet us at BlackProGen. If you have comments about this show or any of the others, you can hashtag it BlackProGen or BlackProGen Live. We also, don't just tweet during the show. We share news and other things during, throughout the week. So be sure to make sure that you follow us on Twitter for that. And also to Ask Mariah, we didn't get to that today, but that's our segment that we do during every show where people submit us their queries and the panel works it out live, giving them suggestions and places that they can go to find more information. Before I wrap up, I want to remind everybody to be sure to check out the African Roots podcast. Angela will be posting that within the next 24 hours. She'll be interviewing. You see, I just gave you a deadline, right? I was like, in the next 24 hours, she's going to do it. She's going to do that. She's going to be talking to people here at RootsTech. We also have research at the National Archives and Beyond with Bernice Bennett. Your next show is who? Oh, we don't remember, but we got another show for that. And be sure to subscribe to The Lowdown by BlackProGen. That's our collective feed of blogs, podcasts, videos, anything we produce as a group. You can subscribe to that. The link is almost always it's actually always in the description of the recording of this show. So if there are no other announcements.
Thank you for having me here too.
Yeah, it was great having you. It was awesome having you. We absolutely need it. And we thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a good crowd here with us for the evening. And if you're here, please be sure to join us. Make sure to say hi tomorrow while you see us out and about, and make sure to get your ribbon. So on behalf of BlackProGen, I'm Nika Smith. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good time.